Hi, welcome to 360.tours. I'm Hadi, and today we're going to go through the panorama settings on this beautiful picture here. So we're going to be discussing all of these settings on the panorama. All right, so here we go. So let's start by going to so here we're in the editor mode. Let's go back to the dashboard. Once you're in the dashboard, you can see these are the global brand settings. So these are the settings that go on all my panoramas. And if I click on the pencil icon, then I go into editor mode. And in this icon, I go into the viewer mode. And I can tell that because here it doesn't say editor. And if I click here, then you can see this one says editor. Then I know I'm in the editor mode. So let's start off with all the settings here. The title is obviously the title here, the Statue of Liberty title that you see here. And if I add -1, then the title will change here and it will be -1. So let's put that one back. And the panorama description that I've put here, you can basically see that when you click on the more and you click on panorama, and there you see the panorama description here. You can write whatever you want. You can make a whole description about the panorama setting that you like. So that's up to you. The YouTube video ID here is for you to add audio to your panorama. So what you do is when you're grabbing the audio, you have to put the YouTube ID. The YouTube ID is basically the part that comes in the URL after the v equals. So here we grab the video URL, we copy it, and we're gonna paste it here, right? And let's say you save it. Now, generally, you're not going to hear the sound. Even if you were to play it again, you need to clear your cache and clear your cookies for this to play. So it won't play now. Just remember that. If you want to hear it playing, clear your cache and your cookies, and that should play fine. The second portion here is the privacy. And the privacy is, let's say you want to make this private. You add a password and you don't want anybody to open this tour. You want somebody specific. So let's go to the viewer, we reload, and it'll ask me for a password, and I put in the password. Please don't put a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as your password like I did. So that's easy for somebody to guess. And that just helps you get into the private mode. If you wanna, you wanna have a private tour, you don't want people to post the tour anywhere. The embed domain restriction, when you put it on, it allows your tour certain restrictions on a particular domain, on your domain, if you don't want it to be embedded in any other domain. Okay, now the panorama viewer configuration, I'm going to do it in the second portion of this video. I don't want the video to be long, so I'm going to skip this part because it's quite long. And if you want to watch this part, just go to the second part of the video and you should see all of that. Now for the user branding, you can see here, let me get my face out of the way. Here we go. And this portion here, now what you see on the tour, you see this logo and you see the info at 360 tours. These are the global brand settings. And that's when we have here show brand information, yes, and use the global brand settings, which are the settings I showed you initially. Now let's say I wanted to use this logo here. So you can upload a logo file here. Let's say you're a photographer and you're doing a tour, you have your global tours, but the real estate agent tells you that he wants his logo to be showing. You don't want to go ahead and change the global settings on all of your tours. So you would upload the real estate agent's logo here and you would say, no, don't use the global brand logo, use the real estate agent's logo and his website. So this is the realestateagent.com. And here use his title name and his title and his name. Once I save this, you see all of this information here changes. The logo here changes. And this can be your client or whoever you want it to be. And this is at the panorama level. So there's also branding at the tour level. And the tour takes precedence over the panorama. So if you're using something, some branding on the tour, and you want one panorama to show the customer's logo, then you would click this, you check this box, and you would use this part. I'm going to discuss this more in detail when I go into the tour settings, so you can check out that video when we speak about branding for the tour. Here we see the panorama viewer controls. Let me just save the viewer here. So let's say that here I go back and I say show me the global brand settings, and this goes back and shows me the global brand settings that you saw before, which are on all my panoramas. If I don't want any branding, I can come here and say no, don't show branding, show brand information, no. I save the viewer, and you'll see that all the brand information disappears. Okay. And I want to show brand information, yes. Okay. Over here we have the panorama viewer controls, and what these are basically are the viewer controls that so here we're in the viewer, and this is what the viewer sees. This is the zoom, the gyroscope, and the full screen. And if I come here and I say, you know, I want to see the auto rotate, the zoom, the download is basically for them to be able to download the panorama. You want to be careful with that. So let's say I click on save viewer. Here, this is let me refresh. And here you'll see that this is the auto rotate. You know, if we do this, then it's auto rotating by itself. This gives the viewer the option to auto rotate. This one gives them the option to zoom in and out. Okay. And this one gives them the option to download the panorama. Again, if you want people using your copyrighted pictures, don't put that as a yes. And this one allows them to go into full screen. So let's say here, I don't want them to download my panorama. I don't want them to be able to use the auto rotate. They can still use the zoom, and I save. And if I go into the viewer and I refresh, these should disappear right here. See, now they only have full screen and the zoom in and out. Okay. So these are the configurations for the panorama settings. Again, if you want to see, you know, what these are, the panorama viewer configuration, check out the second part of this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you.